He lit that little spark in me. All of a sudden, I wasn't stuck on the prairie anymore. If I hadn't been so tired, I'd have fallen in love right there.
I had heard there was a new visitor to our town, but they did not say that she was an angel.
That is a compliment, then thank you, Mr. Dogan.
What else could it be? And you are working for Ole here?
Yes, until I can figure out what I want to do next, at least.
She come into town to work for the Dalstons.
Ah, it's very sad, very sad. Well, welcome to our town. Ole, you mustn't keep Miss Thorgrim's daughter tied up at the farm. I expect to see you both at the next dance.
As Miss Thorgrim's daughter wishes.
And what brings you here today, Olaf Olsen?
I need some candles and some soap.
Soap won't help the kind of dirt you're making, I hear.
What?
You heard me.
Oh, now, Borghild, it's none of your business what Ole Olsen does.
Shut up, Daniel.
Are you speaking about Miss Thorgrim's daughter?
You know very well what I'm talking about.
She is my employee and she is a respectable girl.
Huh, your house isn't big enough for her to be respectable.
You will not speak about Miss Thorgrim's daughter that way. And besides, I sleep in the barn.
Well, it doesn't look right. It doesn't sound right, it doesn't smell right, so don't tell me it's not wrong.
You are lucky you have the only store in this county, Borghild. If you're going to speak about Miss Thorgrim's daughter that way, I'd drive all the way to Minot to do my shopping if I had the time.
Well, if you're going to keep a woman, why don't you just marry her?
All I have to do is look at Daniel to know why I shouldn't get married.
Oh,
shut up, Daniel! What is that supposed to mean?
Your heart is hard and cold, Borghild. And I expect you know that, having to live with it every day.
If you were my son,
If I was your son, I'd move back to Norway. Now where are my candles and soap? My money still spent here, doesn't it? Sorry, Miss Ingrid. Please, let us go now.
You go load up the wagon, Mr. Olsen. I'll be along in a minute.
What do you want?
A little of your time.
You should be ashamed of yourself, young lady.
You shouldn't push Ole like that.
Why not? What does he think standing here talking down to me like that?
Ole Olsen is a good man. I expect you know that. So he'd never hit a lady. Or you.
What is that supposed to mean?
Ole has never touched me. He's too nice. But I might not be so much like him. Now, if you're going to tell lies about Ole or be mean to him when all he's doing is spending his hard-earned money in your store, there will be plenty more of that.
Daniel, did you see that?
Just minding my own business like you told me to.
What were you doing in there, Miss Ingrid?
I can't believe I just did that.
Did what?
I just had to explain a few things to Miss Borghild.
What did you say?
Never you mind. Take me home now, Mr. Olsen. If I'm going to be a kept woman, I expect to be treated in style.
Funny you should mention that. We've been invited to dinner at the Andersons.
Who?
Anders and Evie Anderson. They have the big farm down the road.
A neighbor said.
Well, actually, I work for Mr. Anderson.
When?
Some days a week when he needs me. He pays me cash and then I work in between my farm.
So, those are the days when you're on the back 40 and you'll be gone so far you don't eat lunch?
I don't like to talk about it so much.
Why not?
You'll think less of me, Miss Ingrid, if you know I can't yet support myself with my own farm.
Ole, you're a hard worker. That's all there is to it. You don't have to be ashamed of that.
I got a ways to go, I reckon. But I got dreams, too.
Everybody has dreams, Ole.
I'd like to get a big house made out of wood and a real barn and some goats.
But no wooden legs.
I never met another goat that smart.
You told the Andersons about me?
No, I don't see any point in keeping you a secret, Miss Ingrid.
You know, you could just call me Ingrid.
Oh, that would be a bit friendly, wouldn't it?
Well, yes, Ole, it would.
Wouldn't want you to think I was getting fresh now.
No, Ole, I wouldn't think you were getting fresh.
That's very kind of you, Miss Ingrid.
Ingrid.
Yeah.
So, we have a dinner invitation to the Andersons.
Next Saturday. That's why I got the extra canned soap. I don't like to go smelling like I usually do.
Well, My mother used to make us all bathe on Saturdays.
Mine too.
It's your time to start again. Do you have a tub?
An old one in the barn.
This is going to be work, isn't it? We better get going. Drive me home, Mr. Olson.
Homesteaders sometimes had their children put in for homesteads, so their farms grew in a hurry. Anders Anderson did that, and his farm grew like spring wheat. But he was careful, he worked hard, until things got so big he had to hire men to help him. Ole was one of those men. He and Anders became good friends.
You don't clean up too bad, Ole.
Oh, I'm still the same fella. Not so much dirt under my fingernails. I don't mean to sound fresh, but you don't clean up too bad yourself.
You've got to stop that, Ole.
I'm sorry.
No. Stop calling me Miss Ingrid. Stop worrying about being too fresh. And stop apologizing.
I'm sorry.
How far to the Andersons?
A couple of miles. It's the closest farm to ours. My farm.